Hi, welcome to Mike's Greenhouse. I'm excited to share my passion for gardening and landscaping. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mike, and welcome to Mike's Greenhouse. I'm in my second week of YouTube and kind of excited. This video I'm going to share today is a video that I've been working on for a while and was really the first video that I wanted to post. Um, I built a greenhouse, started in March 31st of last year and ended up on September 9th. So I did a little research on the time date. Took 162 days from start to finish to get this project done. But I want to kind of share the front side of it, or what we did to get this going. Um, I built a home about 5 years ago, and my builder and I became good friends. And when I started this project, I asked him if he had any interest in helping me with the project, and he dove headfirst in with me. And we went to work on designing the garage that you've seen and the greenhouse itself. And so on my side, I did a little research myself on what's the best greenhouse to buy. I've seen Hartley on YouTube. I've seen BC greenhouses and several others. And so I did some research. And one of the things that I did is I uh, attended a couple forums on greenhouses. One that BC had, they actually had a customer forum where you could just dial in on Zoom and ask any questions you wanted to about the greenhouse. And I found that very beneficial. But one of the things they mentioned when the forum was going on is they have regional distributors that represent their company, put greenhouses together, install them, and if you work directly with them, they'll actually help you with the measurements and talk through some things. And so that was really helpful. And so that's where my journey took me to Wisconsin. Wisconsin Greenhouses in Madison, Wisconsin is the distributor for my area. And I connected with Jordan, the owner of the company, uh, late in the fall of 24, and just kind of talked through what I wanted to do. And he was so helpful. In January of 25, myself and my builder jumped in a truck and headed to Wisconsin, and Jordan set up about 8 visits to the greenhouses. We had 8 customers that they had installed in the area, and we went as far as north of Green Bay in the Madison area. There was several greenhouses similar to the one that I was going to build, and so I was able to talk to the owners of the greenhouse and ask them questions about, what would you have done different if you would have built the greenhouse today? And some of them used them during the winter, and some of them did not. But I learned so much. I mean, when you talk to somebody that's lived it, they can tell you everything that they would have done differently, and the things that they did that they really enjoy. So I learned a lot. Like I said, we got to tour 8 greenhouses, and then I went back and ordered my greenhouse. One of the things I learned is that my plans for my greenhouse, and I think that's what you have to decide when you're building a greenhouse, is what are you going to use it for? That's one of the things Jordan asked me, and I really didn't have a defined answer. But when he asked me about what are you going to do with it, I said, well, I need to store some tropical plants. I'd like to raise plants from seed. I'm going to start a garden, so I'd like to be able to start seeds for the garden in there. And so he kind of talked me through what I'm going to need. One of the things that a lot of the 8 that we talked to said that I wish I would have put more heat or different heat. So I researched radiant heat, in-floor heat, and found that it's pretty inexpensive to put in. And actually, the first year it was pretty inexpensive to run. I mentioned in a prior video that we got down probably below 10 degrees, below zero several times, and at zero for weeks on end. And I think I used about $1,000 in propane uh, total to operate that. I do have a supplemental mini split that I'll show some in some future plans, but I have a mini split for the garage, a 2-head mini split that operates for supplemental heat if the radiant heat won't keep up. I did notice that if you get below 20 degrees, the radiant heat will not keep up. But before that, it did. So that was exciting. So with that, we kind of went forward. I got the garage, kind of decided what the size I wanted to build and how we would connect it, and then we ordered the greenhouse. And as I said, we started the greenhouse in March. Started building in March, and so that's what this next video is going to show you. As I was preparing for this, I noticed that I have over 1,000 pictures and videos in a file on building of this greenhouse. Obviously, I'm not going to show you that many, but it was interesting that I've collected that much data. And so if any of you on this channel would like to see some more information, I'd be glad to share it with you. But pretty exciting. So I'm excited to share the information. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and show the collage of pictures and kind of walk through the timeline on how this thing was built. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, here we go. So as I mentioned, March 31st on 2025, landscaping company pulled in and drove their skid loader down the hill. As you can see, that hill's pretty steep. So they drove down the hill and kind of created a road that we were going to use to get down to the greenhouse. You can see them moving a lot of dirt. And so this was coming down the hill and back and forth. You'll see here in a minute, we had to bring the excavator down, and the guy that owned the excavator did not want to drive that thing down the hill, so one of the landscaping guys did. So we got it down the hill. You see a tree being chopped down. We had to chop down 6 total trees. That was the largest one. But I happen to have in my backyard area a pretty open area where the greenhouse sits today. So as I said earlier, this was the largest tree we took down. And then as you see it fall, the area itself over here is pretty wide open. So this is where we started, and this is where the greenhouse ended. Actually, on that day, they've got the foundation all dug out. They literally, and we moved all the dirt. You can see we placed the dirt. We kind of built up the side hill a little bit, and then we piled the rest. I don't know how many truckloads of dirt that we had piled up, but it worked out really well. We displaced it all in the area and kind of reworked it. But you can see them moving pretty well there, and got things going. So once they got everything dug out on April 8th, and you'll see that coming up here pretty quick, we poured foundation. This is April 8th right here where we poured the foundation. You can see that big pile there, but we poured the footings, I guess is what I want to say. We poured the footings, and we had to put some items in, but you can see the big pump truck showed up, and we poured on the 9th of April, we poured all of this concrete into the footings. They got a little buggy there that they moved some concrete around, but this giant pump truck reached all the way down there, and they were able to fill in the footings. And you can see how high that back wall is when we did that. And so you can see here we're pouring it, and it's quite the machine, as you can see, getting down there and getting the concrete poured on the footings. So they did a really good job, got them in, and as like I said, you can see how far it's dug into the wall. I think we have a 6-foot wall on the back side. And during this project, I had one of the landscape guys with the soil conditioner go through the woods and kind of clean things up. These woods have probably been around a long time, and we went through and cleaned everything up so it could grow back natural. And so a soil conditioner is pretty much something that just rips everything up, and then we let it grow back natural. So we pulled the forms on the 11th of April, and you can see right there how good that looks, and the back wall, and then we started filling in all around it. We did put tile around the entire project, so water doesn't run into the actual foundation, it runs around it. So we've got it all tiled really well, and it shoots out. And you can see the plumbers have been here, so we put in floor drains and we've got the spouts for the eaves buried, and this is where we started with radiant heat. You can see on May 8th, this is the day that we put in the radiant heat, and you can see all those tubes run. There's two separate zones, one for the garage and one for the greenhouse. And then on the 10th, we poured those floors. So you can see that we've got the floors poured through the radiant heat and let that dry. The garage started framing on the 18th of May. And you can see there that the garage is being built, and literally the garage was done on the 22nd. So they built that garage in basically 4 days. Didn't take much. They put it up in a hurry and did a really nice job. So I thought that was interesting that we got that done in just 4 days. The plumbers came back on June 14th and started getting things done. You can see the electricians have been here, started getting some prep in for wiring and getting things going. But the garage, they're kind of in the pre-stages of everything before doors were put on and electrical. And as you saw in my prior video, we had some turkeys running around, and they're still running around. There they go. So the plumbers were back, like I said, on the 14th, and then we started putting stone in on June 30th. And you can see the front of the garage and the front of the greenhouse got stone on it. And took them a couple days to get that done, but kind of accents it. The stone matches the front of my house, so that's kind of we did it. So here we are again with the pump truck, and they're back pouring the walks. That was on July 3rd. July 3rd, we poured a little set off on the garage and the walk out front. And that took a quick day, and then they were done with that. So on July 3rd, we poured that. And then we started digging out. This was electrical getting put in from the main box. I had to put a separate box. You can see that green box, and we had to dig the electrical down. So the excavator just, while he was here, he just dug it for me, and it didn't take that long. On the 14th, the painters came. 14th of July, the painters came and started painting, and you can see basically sprayed it on, and they did a great job. The paint job looks good. Took them a while to get it done. The trim carpenter's here on the same day. As you can see how the paint came out, we had to put a frame up top to connect the greenhouse to, and that's done. And then the big day on July 22nd, the greenhouse backed up. You can see the semi backing in. All of the greenhouse was on that semi and in crates. So the skid loader brought it down, and you can see they're here on the 14th actually building the greenhouse. Making sure it matches the frame, checking all the measurements, and here we go. They're putting it up, and you'll be surprised how quick this greenhouse went up. Obviously, I took pictures every day, but on July 22nd, they were done with the greenhouse and basically most of the construction. So they had some light things to do the following week to come back, but from July 14th to the 22nd, they've got all the glass in, the doors on, and you can see how quick that thing went up. On my birthday, July 30th, I took this picture here. That has a lot of the plumbing, the painting, the doors, how clean it is, just beautiful. So from July 14th to July 30th, you can see they did this. Had a little rain. You can see the water running. We're kind of testing to see how the water is going to run down through there, and a lot of it. But finishing the last minute touches on the things on July 30th, and then you can see how beautiful that looks. And this is that picture. July 30th, it was taken. Got fans running. We've got lots of wonderful stuff happening, and floor was rinsed off, and got a chandelier. My builder was remodeling a house, and they were throwing it away, so it makes a nice touch, and the price was right. And then on August 20th, you're going to see coming up here, we had a final walkthrough. Some of these pictures are obviously taken at night, but this is Scarlett and her dad Kevin were our first visitors, and the first plant went in on August 20th. you can see the sod started coming, and the sod backed up, and we started laying sod on September 2nd. And September 2nd, the sod came in, and we started getting sod around the entire area. You can see him bringing it down. A lot of trips down the hill with that skid loader, and a lot of rolls of sod, and but it couldn't have turned out better. Started introducing a few plants in early September, some tropicals, and you can see more sod. Here comes more sod, and you can see how beautiful the sod's looking. We're about probably a third of the way done, and then towards the end you can see I've started introducing plants. This is the final trip through, and you can see we've got posted a final picture, and that's Alejandro, the young man from Wisconsin Greenhouses that helped build it. So with that, 162 days to build this greenhouse, and now we're done. Here's the final picture. Well, there you have it, 162 days to build a greenhouse. As I said earlier, I've got a lot of videos and pictures that I've taken during this journey. So if any of you would like to have more information on anything, I'm going to drop a link to Wisconsin Greenhouses in the information if you want to reach out to Jordan with any questions. I'm sure he'd love to talk to you. And with that, I'm going to close out today. As I said, please put comments in. And please subscribe to my channel. It's been a great journey so far. I love talking to all of you through your comments. And so if you have any questions or information you would like, just reach out. Until we meet again, we'll talk to you later.